Now we're going to talk about macros. What are they? Why should you care? Good question. So what are your macros? So when you're thinking about macros, these are your macronutrients, and they are composed of carbohydrates, your fats, your proteins, and funny enough, so is alcohol. It's technically a macronutrient, but let's kick that to the curb for now. So this is different than, say, your micronutrients. Your micronutrients are things that are the reason why you're over here probably, chugging your multivitamins every morning, which includes your vitamins, your minerals, your vitamin C and zinc. So your body doesn't need as many micronutrients as it does macronutrients. Your macronutrients are things you want to focus on every single day to make sure you're optimizing for, because these things really play a huge role in how well your body feels, moves, functions, looks. So they're important. So let's break it down a little bit more. So I like to think of carbs, protein, and fats like a team. Imagine, one's a shooting guard, one's a point guard, the other one's a center, right? So they all have slightly different roles. So when you think about carbs are essentially there for providing energy. And then your protein is there to help you repair your muscles. And then your fats are there to help you support your hormones. That's like a basic bird's eye view foundational thing that all of these things do. And in terms of the carbs and proteins, they both have 4 calories per gram, and then fats have 9 calories per gram. Okay. And then alcohol has 7 calories per gram. So if you're wondering why you're not losing weight and you're drinking a lot, that's why. You're essentially almost like drinking fat. Okay. It has the most calories per gram. It's very, very close. Now, when you're thinking about carbs and you're trying to wonder, okay, what has carbs in it? All right. Typically, these are going to be things like rice and pasta, cereals, fruits, potatoes, whole wheats. Those things typically have a decent amount of carbs. And then you have things that are kind of in the middle between carbs and protein. And that's going to be like quinoa and beans, things that a lot of vegans or vegetarians would eat to help support their need for protein because they're not getting it from animal sources. And then when you think protein, it's typically going to be an animal source, whether it's a land animal or a sea animal, it's going to be an animal source. And then you're going to have things that are hybrid between proteins and fats, things that have a little bit more fat in them, such as salmon is a very fatty fish, different types of cuts of steak, bacon, eggs are going to have a lot of fat and protein simultaneously. And then you have the fats, like we mentioned, which are great for supporting your hormones. And the reason why I never tell someone to be on a super low fat diet is because it will tank your hormones. You will feel like trash. So there are baseline requirements that you need to hit for fats as well. And we're going to talk about this later. But when you're thinking about fats, you're thinking of olive oil, you're thinking of avocado, chia seeds, flax seeds, and things like that, coconut oil. All right. So those are your macros. Those are some basic fundamental reasons why they're important. Now we're going to dive in deep with each single one of these and figure out how much should we be eating, why we should be eating it, and how to plan a strategy to incorporate these into our diet effectively. So I'll see you on the next presentation. But before I go, if you have any questions, drop them down below.